Ooh, welcome back, everybody! We have mysteries left. Probably. I don't know, Blaze is asking for mysteries, so I guess we're gonna find out what those mysteries are. Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report. That is true. Of course, that is a mystery indeed. That kind of thing. I've brought her in! Oh, come on, why does she have to be here?
What's wrong? Why were we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compressed stat. Ouch! What did you call me here for? Did something happen?
Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax.
Tell me what in blazes is going on!
Of course. We called you here because something came up. Judge Courtney, what are you planning? Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct?
Granny would never make a mistake!
That's certainly strange.
Huh? What's strange?
This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report?
That's terrible! In the name of Jane Curtis, I have to say this is terrible! How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you were talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place?
To protect the true culprit, of course.
What you talking about? I would never do such a thing!
How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? ... I have no idea. Oh, I expect you to press into their statements like you normally do. This is not a testimony. I only press testimony. Why is she taking control of the situation trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the errors should not have been there. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't do anything. That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear her testimony? It would be pointless!
I will be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you.
There are patients waiting for us! But, Granny, ouch! Anyway, we don't have time for this!
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please, try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering.
Oh, please don't get this guy started again. And yet you were lollygagging about on the viewing platform earlier. I promise you, this won't take long. Just as long as you stop saying the word terrible. Only if she tells me the truth, of course. Because if you keep saying that word, he's coming. Can you hear him laughing in the distance? He's already on his way. Error in the autopsy report.
There were no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch! I got nothing to gain.
I swear, every time she gets smacked, I don't know why, it's just funny.
I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. That's what she says. See? There's nothing strange at all.
How old is she again? I mean, they're both, her and Blaze are pretty similar in age, so, I mean, why would there not be a reason to hide? I mean, maybe they're seeing each other. I mean, who really knows? 68 and, oh, 60. You know, I have trouble believing that Mr. Blaze is actually older than her by 8 years? This woman looks like she's freaking, like, 85, 90 years old or something like that. Blaze looks like he's I don't know, he looks like he's 50 or something. My goodness. He doesn't even look like he's that old, really. Yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she would falsify it, you see. Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth?
Of course, Granny would never tell a lie.
Objection!
We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party.
I'm not a third party, I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best prepare yourself. You ex-prosecutor!
I will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. Rebuttal, error in the autopsy report.
There were no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports.
Well, let us be the judge of that, shall we? I mean, it seems like there is a mistake, but maybe there isn't. But maybe there is, but who knows? Maybe there really isn't. But then we find out 5 years later, there actually is a mistake. And we don't know how long end part 1 is. It's a long gosh dang part, that's for sure.
Hold it!
Hold it! So you're saying there was no way Dr. Young could have made a mistake?
Of course, doctors can't afford to make mistakes. This is a world where just one misdiagnosis can end a long career. I know that my granny at least would never. If I did something like that, you'd think they'd still let me run a hospital? I've been working my...
I almost said I've been working my corpse off. Oh my gosh.
I've been working my corpse... Oh my gosh, I said it again! I've been working with corpses longer than you...
I swear that wasn't on purpose.
Longer than you've been alive!
So in your long career, you've never once made a mistake?
A doctor's only as good as the length of their track record.
Huh. If we're just talking about a lengthy track record, that former chief prosecutor has one too. And yet his actual abilities don't seem to measure up. I hope that you're not the same as well. Ouch. That's a low blow, you know. But you know, Edgeworth, I don't make mistakes either, you see. Because you see, before I can make a mistake, those around me will have already been made it instead. You see, I don't have time for mistakes. It's quite amazing, you know. It must be karma.
You can't compare a chief prosecutor with a doctor. You really can't.
Well, it really depends on what the... It really depends on the context of the comparison, really, I guess you could say. Of course, naturally, I was just laughing at her getting slapped in the face while I was just going on a random little side note right there.
There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch!
Gosh dang it. The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head. And yet, there was not a single drop of blood in the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem.
Well, that's... Ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Ouch! Yeah! I relayed to Karin what to put down in the autopsy report.
Well, she doesn't write her own autopsy reports, what the heck?
After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Relayed to Karin? Please elaborate on that.
Oh my gosh, added testimony. Yay!
I relayed everything to Karin. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body.
Like we said, ouch! Oh, well, about that. She was done in by a thumb to her noggin.
Dr. Young, do you know when that happened?
Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karin. So that's what should have been written in the report.
That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. I'm not following you, Edgeworth. I'm not at all.
I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report.
Wait, so this is the new one, right? I relayed everything to Karin after that. It was none of my beeswax? Okie dokie then. You may have nothing to gain, but how about your granddaughter?
Me? There isn't anything I could gain. If Karin had done something to gain, then that girl of yours might have something too. How dare you accuse my little girl who's never done harm to anybody? Yeah, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
She should address those words to Blaze instead of me.
I swear that the autopsy report wasn't falsified. That's what she says, see? There's nothing strange at all.
Did you notice anything strange when you were performing the autopsy?
I wonder, huh? What is it, Granny? A strange man came by.
Who are you calling strange?
He wore some really strange clothes. He even had a frilly thing around his neck.
It's always about the frilly thing around his neck. I see how it is. ...
What is wrong with this frilly thing around my neck? Why do people always have to call it a frilly thing? Don't they realize it's fashion? It's in good taste, of course.
Even though he was about to get canned, he still tried to run amok during my autopsy. I'm talking about you, you frilly red brute.
I see. So Mr. Edgeworth is a strange frilly red brute. Kay, please don't only remember odd things about me.
It doesn't look like Granny's lying.
Miss Jensen is the one who is relaying Dr. Young's words. I'll have to confirm whether or not Miss Jensen is telling us the truth.
There were no mistakes in Granny.
Oh yeah, because I got rid of the ouch.
We did everything to Karin. It was done raspberry wax.
Alright, well, what do I say for this then? I promise we'll get most precious memory back. Well, that's probably not it. Ticket stub is probably not it either. Probably not. Nope. Purple flower? Probably not. No. The flowers and bees, you know. I mean, I don't freaking know. This probably is not it either. Yeah. Probably not. Some actors from behind stand push her off the roof. Okay, cool. Key car entry from PI should bring over to production. Okay. Free from problem. Back and chest wounds. Okay. Findings of the coroner, Dr. Young, cause of death, stab wound to the left chest, head wound was post-mortem. The victim's body was discovered in the investigator's estimated time of death sometime late last night at midnight. Cause of death was stab wounds, left chest with the candelabra, head wound was post-mortem, burn mark on the victim's left hand. Well, it doesn't say left hand, but you know, whatever. Victim's hand. When it says coroner, is that the contradiction right there? Should I just present the autopsy report and be like, hey, you're not the coroner, you didn't do the autopsy, you didn't write it down. What does coroner mean, honestly? Should I even look that up? Should I be like, what the heck does coroner mean? Honestly, I have no idea. Well, anyway, that's the victim because of things. Wait a sec. No, never mind. I don't know. That's probably not it either. Nope. I don't know. No. Records audio of someone just talking to another person. No. Photo taken by blah 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 blah. Okay, so no, that's what I thought. So I'm probably gonna present the autopsy report again because the autopsy report likes being presented, so that might be it. What? Wait, huh? I've never seen such a slow. Like every time you do that, it's always immediate. The music shutting off. That did not happen. And that made me actually think I got it wrong right there. What the heck?
Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I'll read it out for you. Ouch! ...
Wait, that's Young. Oh my gosh. ...
Ouch! This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean?
Ouch!
seem to be going a little nuts right now.
But Granny, I can't say that! Ouch!
That's enough of these shenanigans. Please say what you need to say already. Miss Jensen, if you're trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow! She mimicked your voice perfectly. Oh. Wait, how do you know? She hasn't spoken out loud once, so you don't know what she sounds like. Oh, geez, whatever. There was no need for it to go that far, though. Well, geez, if I realized that she was going for perfect imitation, I would have just gone old lady voice right there, but okay. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen.
Oh, I...
With that, we've proven that the wound on her hand came first, her head, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report?
Hold it. Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. Post-mortem and ante-mortem sound kind of similar, you know.
They're complete opposites. That is the very definition of falsification. Miss Jensen, why would you lie?
Kay, ouch! I want you to tell me too, why you would do something like that. Granny, but
Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it.
I can't say. I just can't say it.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say?
You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl. Loves her granddaughter so. She is totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for one tiny mistake.
That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies?
What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know?
Very well. As you wish, I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. She was the true culprit. She was the victim. She was an accomplice. Because those first two didn't really make any sense, so I don't know. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
Ouch!
This girl is an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim?
It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people. Namely because the victim couldn't have been moved. Namely because the number of people wouldn't match. Namely because the report couldn't have been faked. Huh? The number of people wouldn't match because it went back to 11 people? If the conductor was the culprit, and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident.
What now? You got a problem with my testimony?
Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony, that's why an accomplice must exist.
So you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong?
Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11.
Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. But you know, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered?
Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I wouldn't.
Who is the conductor? In other words, tell me who is the true culprit.
I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ah, ouch! But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Granny!
Whoa. Well, rip her hair. As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us?
Yes. It's okay, Granny. I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane.
So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice?
Yes, I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane.
The conductor expected an attack from the victim?
They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at her own game, and that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began.
Oh, there, you ain't fooling my eyes. If you're waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction.
I'm telling the truth.
I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl who would falsify reports?
There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom.
Then by all means, tell me. Where did our little nurse hide?
The place in the storeroom where Miss Jensen hid was...
literally the only place that could possibly be a hiding spot would have to be... that.
So, that's an easy one. She hid inside this costume trunk.
A costume trunk, huh? Now you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. And it was locked too, so I had to give it up.
I suspect that was when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen. Was already inside the trunk.
Yes, it would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped the chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction.
Does she know who the conductor is or not? I mean, my goodness, wouldn't you have to know who the heck you're working with? You're going to be an accomplice in a situation?
So then when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom.
Yes, that should be right.
The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed a crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then.
You betcha. I was traveling behind behind that there statue the whole time, though.
Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body out to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident?
Yes, that's right.
Only old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know? Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus?
No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because...
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a lot of freaking polls on this episode. If I remember to put them there, that is. Oh boy, she stole... The reason they didn't notice the switch was because she stole the victim's clothes, she used the victim's name, she acted like the victim. I assume she stole the victim's clothes.
From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. As their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person.
Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and... Ouch! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat that was up for the auction.
So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened.
I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. Had to make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the pit lift to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed 11 participants and I hightailed it back behind the statue.
Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you.
Now that's... how should I put it?
What is it? Did something happen?
I didn't mention it before, but after I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Well, something like that.
So something did happen.
That ain't no big deal. Kind of embarrassing to say, though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking my boots. My heart sort of tightened up, and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, I was already the next day. Around the time y'all came by the storeroom.
I see. So there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point.
I guess, but after the auction, all the masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had to exit through the storeroom just like I done said.
Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed?
I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk. Because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it.
You didn't realize the box was empty?
No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder.
Kay.
And thus that's why she got blackmailed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness.
Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop.
I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling under the storeroom floor.
That might have been it, though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that.
When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me, Miss Jensen. Please continue your story.
After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion.
Was this an order from the conductor as well?
Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing.
Huh. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence.
And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit.
I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor.
In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything.
Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back.
I want to help you more, but that is all I know. If I had to say, there is just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ouch! What kind of coroner's assistant goes around seeing a corpse's hair?
I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough.
Very, very true indeed.
Both the color and the length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig.
2 wigs? Why were there 2?
Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair.
The straight wig to match her hair. Well, I'd say that's pretty straight, alright. Well, anyway, that checks out.
So that means the wavy wig was left unused.
Karin's testimony jotted down in my organizer. Karin's testimony on when she switched places with the victim. Touch the check button for details.
Is that really all you know?
Perhaps.
That's it? Oh, I thought it was gonna be like multiple pages or something for some reason.
The conductor prepared a wig so that Jill Crane could be impersonated for some reason.
There was both a straight wig and a wavy wig, but since Miss Crane's hair is straight... Whew,
the wavy wig was left unused. What does that have to... Wait. Oh. Miss Crane. For some reason I was thinking... Never mind. I'm being stupid right now.
Yes. Yep, that's really all I know.
So that means you don't know who the conductor is.
I'm sorry. I only knew that the person as the auction conductor. I never saw the person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard towards everybody.
No.
At this rate, well, I mean, he wore a mask. I mean, if it's Blaze the Best, then wouldn't you be able to tell just automatically based on the fact that he's got a long beard? I mean, mask or no mask, you can't exactly hide that beard, can you? Pretty sure you can't. Unless that beard is a prop. I have no idea. That makes me wonder.
At this rate.
Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know? In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know? The rule of law cannot be overturned, at least not for your sake. So why are we saying that Kay is the conductor, then? That doesn't make any sense, you know? I mean, did we not just literally clear her of innocence?
What we don't know is who the conductor
Is Kay is obviously not the conductor. I mean, come on now. So, shouldn't that just mean we have an unknown murderer out and about? It shouldn't just be like, oh, it's still Kay because we don't know who the freaking conductor is. Oh my gosh, I swear.
Is this as far as I can go? As I go? Am I unable to save Kay?
Objection!
Francisca! She's back!
Francisca, why are you here?
Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Well, but there's a case. I will follow. I literally did not follow my own sentence for a second there. Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. Indeed, it is most appreciated. And we will appreciate it even more on the next exciting episode, everyone. Oh my gosh, I was wondering if she'd show up again. Because I was like thinking, like, is this just a cameo or is she actually going to play a more important role in this case? Because, I mean, it was the same thing with freaking Lang, and I'm like, well, okay, he's here. He's going to play a role in this case, right? Oh, no, he just left. Okay. I was worried it was going to be the same thing with Francisca, but it's not, so yeah! Okay, Francisca, do your work. But next time, why are you doing this again?